It's now or never for England. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. We're here today for the England versus Germany Euros 2020 round of 16 preview. I'm joined by Mike today. Mike, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, Jake. Thanks very much. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, good. As I said, it is now or never. We've got to start getting to our potential now, haven't we? We're slowly going up. That Saka Grealish performance against the Czech Republic is slowly going up, but we've got to start playing some decent football now, haven't we?
Yeah, it's the time to come good now. We've been tight defensively. We haven't let a goal in, but now we've got to score a goal. Otherwise, we're not going through to the next round, are we?
No, and this is probably going to be our first massive challenging game, isn't it? Because I mean the Croatians, they weren't great. Scotland were just Scotland, and the Czech Republic, they didn't really have anything up front. So this is going to be our real first big game. And is a question for you: do you think Southgate's going to be the problem here? Do you think that he'll chicken out? Because we're going to go through our predicted lineups in a minute, but we know what he's capable of. We just hope he doesn't chicken out and go super defensive.
Yeah, I've got a feeling he might go 3-4-3, but I
Mm,
don't see how he can really after playing 4-3-3 in those first three games.
yeah,
He's got to stick with that formation, I think.
yeah, I think so. I think so. But we will get into our predicted lineups then, Mike. So I might talk us through your 11, then I'm going to bring it up on screen. Then there you go. So Pickford in goal, Chilwell at left back, Stones, Maguire, James at right back. A midfield three of Rice, Phillips, and Mount, Grealish, Kane, and Foden as the front three. Mike, talk us through that then. Why have you made them choices?
It all depends, really. If looking at my lineup, I've got two players in there that, Mount and Chilwell, who, I think are good players. But if they've not been training with the team, at all, then maybe, I'd change that team. But if
Mm,
they have and they've got back training a day with the team, I think those two should be in there. Saka's probably a little bit unlucky to be left out because I thought we had a great game. But then, you've got him up your sleeve still to bring on. Kane, you've got to stick with him. We've got to stick with him and hopefully he'll find some form. Grealish for me's got to start. Sterling will be a bit unlucky after he's the only one who scored any goals for us, but I still think that's a fresher and a more attacking front three: Grealish, Kane, and Foden.
yeah.
So you got. I think Rice and Phillips. Yeah, Southgate trusts him, and he
Mm,
knows they can do a job together. I know he brought Henderson on, in the last game in the second half. I think that was just to give him time. He didn't look fit, and he ain't
no,
going to be fit, is he? The guy's not played since February. One half a game since February. There's no way you can start him against Germany.
no.
No way.
Uh,
And I think he'll stick with that. Like I say, if Mount is able to play.
Yeah, yeah. I think we saw that he brought Henderson on for Rice at half time, and I just went, really. And all of our, people are saying, "Oh, Rice, the sideways and backwards merchant." But to be honest, he did that fantastic run. He just went, and then he got to taken off at half time. I really don't see the point in restricting him to that. Just let him play the game. I know he's a central defensive midfielder, but let him play his game. People haven't been too impressed with him, but he's got to stick with Rice now, hasn't he? He can't put Henderson in there because Henderson's no way, as we just said, up to speed.
No, he's not fit enough. I mean, Rice, what people don't realise is no one scored a goal against us yet. And a
No,
lot of that is down to him sitting in front of that back four. I mean, yeah. I mean, sometimes you can go through these tournaments and not score that many goals as long as you are solid defensively. And especially with our back four, which I don't think Southgate is 100% sure with, like, Harry Maguire, or, needs to come in if he's fit, full stop. But he still can't be 100% fit either. So they
no,
need that bit of protection. And I'll tell you what, if you take Rice out of the team, you'll see then,
yeah,
how weak we could be and how people could cut us open. It's not till you take him out that you'll see that. And I didn't think we looked that well organised. Henderson was drifting, in different places, and there was there was holes appearing when he was on the pitch. He's a different sort of player, yeah, and he will be more proactive going forward, I think, Henderson. But, I think you need a man to do the Rice job, and he does it. And I think
Yeah.
so. Trust him.
Yeah, I think so, and yeah, I completely agree. If you take him out, I think we lose a lot of defensive cover. As much as people are saying he's too defensive, blah blah blah, but I think he's the heart of just when teams come forward, we've got the attack coming back. Then there's a brick wall. We've got Declan Rice, and then there's the back four, and I think he's just so crucial. But one player that didn't start, and I was a bit I was a bit bemused by that until somebody told me that Phil Foden didn't start against the Czech Republic, and then the reason for that was because he was on a yellow card, and he could have had the ban. So that symbolises to me, Mike, that Gareth Southgate thinks Phil Foden's pretty precious, and if he's gonna take him out just because he's on a yellow card, it means he's probably gonna start the next game, and he's really important for Gareth Southgate, I think.
Oh yeah, he likes Foden. Well, Foden's got that little bit of something that he can do that little bit extra, can he? He's quick, he can keep the ball at his feet. He makes those runs. I mean, for me, he's got a start. And fair dues to Southgate. That's the reason he left him out, for having the yellow card. And we know we're going to need him when it really matters. Let's face it, we didn't have to win that last game.
No,
we would have went through without winning. We could have drawn, or I think even lost, and maybe gone through to the next stage. So it was an ideal time to get Henderson. Don't get me wrong, I think Henderson's a good player, but maybe it was the right time to just get 45 minutes into him, because if someone gets injured in the mid, either Rice or Phillips gets injured, we will need Henderson to come in there. So it was probably the right thing to do, to be honest, to give him that 45 minutes. I think he's given most players a chance so far. I would have liked to have seen a bit more Sancho, to be honest, to see what he's really got. I don't know that much about him, but the way everyone talks about him and the way the Germans rave on about him, I would have probably liked to have seen a little bit more of him.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you about him. He hasn't really had his opportunity, Jadon Sancho, so far, but I'm sure in a game, because Gareth Southgate, he doesn't really like to make subs, but if we perhaps go 1-0 down, which we haven't done yet in this competition, the players, I mean, we've got 5 subs, so the players you can pull off the bench. So if Saka doesn't start, you've got Saka, Sancho, if Bellingham's not on the pitch, Bellingham, all of these players. When you've got a front three, you've always got, a backup front three that are very, very good as well, and we can just pull that off the bench. And these players like Sancho, maybe he's holding back Sancho until we really, really need him for 45 minutes when we're 1-0 down to make something happen.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's doing. I'm sure. They know he's good enough. I mean, everyone knows he's good enough.
Yeah.
But getting thrown in from the start against Germany, I don't think is probably the right thing to do now anyway.
No.
So I think like I say, keep him at sleeve. Don't get me wrong. We're talking about Declan Rice. If we're 2-0 down, then Declan Rice is the man to take off, to be totally honest. And because he does that job so well, holding and keeping us tight defensively, you probably could bring on someone more attacking if you're losing, but if you're winning, you don't take him off. Full stop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. So in terms of Germany, then, they're a funny old side. They were in the group of death, which is the hardest group that there was. They did end up finishing second in that Hungary game, where both games were played on that night. At one stage they were fourth, third, second. It was a mad group, but somehow we're not playing Hungary, we're playing them. But I don't think many England fans are convinced with Germany, and it's going to be interesting. What have you made of Germany so far?
Yeah, I've watched a hell of a lot of their games. I was flipping between the 2 games, to be totally honest, because it was, and in the end, I thought, I better stay with one, and I sort of watched 20 minutes of one and 20 minutes of the other. No, they didn't look as though they had that much, really. I mean, you can never write the Germans off. Don't get me wrong. They're resilient. They will stay in there. in a game, and and like they've proved they score goals in bursts. But I think they get atable. We just need
Yeah,
our flick, and we can score goals against them.
yeah, I
Definitely.
think we
I mean,
can.
I know they've played tougher games. They've had a tougher group by a long way, and they're more, they're prepared for tougher games. But they struggled against Hungary, didn't they? So
Yeah.
we've got
Well, yeah,
nothing to
but
fear. We just got to go and give it a go.
yeah, and the no fear attitude. I think that's what Gareth Southgate's got to have going into this. And they've got some really good players, and they were in the hardest group that they could have possibly been in. But they've definitely got some players. I'm gonna just bring up a predicted lineup for you now. So I'm just gonna put it on a ticker. Let's have a little look at this then. So they've got some really really good players, and we can't underestimate them too much. So a predicted lineup, perhaps goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, left back Antoine Rudiger, the two centre back Mats Hummels, Ginter, Gossens, Kroos, Gundogan, Kimmich, Havertz, Leroy Sane, and Gnabry. So just on first glance at that, Mike, they have got some Premier League proven players,
Yeah, yeah,
and you've got Muller, you've got Gnabry, you've got Sane, Havertz, Kimmich, probably one of the best right back / right midfielders out there, probably one of the best goalkeepers, Manuel Neuer as well. We can't underestimate this side. They've got talent everywhere.
yeah, most definitely. I mean, Gundogan, he's been one of the top players in the Premier League. I mean, Havertz, he's not always been brilliant this year, but he got better as the season went along. They've got some. Kroos is a good player. I mean, probably it would be Rice's job to get on him and stop him, I should imagine.
Yeah.
But both the wing backs played quite well, I thought. And they were sort of crossing balls for each other. So a bit like Liverpool, really. They were both getting balls into the box and putting themselves on the end of crosses as well. So there's danger there. There's no doubt about it. We know they're going to be a good side, but I just don't think we need to fear it.
Yeah. So who, looking at that I've just showed you, or looking, Muller as well. Who do you fear? One player that you think could cause us problems on Tuesday?
I think Kroos, he's the man that dictates everything. He's the man in the middle of the park that pulls the strings. I think you don't give him too much room. I mean, they've got a lot of dangerous players, no doubt about it. I mean, Sané, he's coming off the bench, isn't he, a lot of the time, he's a top quality player as well. They got.
It's going to be a key midfield battle, though, isn't it? Yeah,
but the midfield is where they've got a little bit more inventiveness than us, and I think we need to get up on them. We need to get tight on them and don't give them too much room.
Yeah, a key midfield battle in there is going to be Kroos, Gundogan versus Rice and Phillips. It's going to be a key battle, and I think if we can win that battle, I think we've got enough creative in the terms of Kane. He hasn't showed his full potential yet, but we've got enough talent. If we can win that midfield, I think we've got enough talent to score goals, put goals past them, and then I think we'll do all right. But the first goal is crucial in this game, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we need to be tight early on. We don't need to give them too much early on. Otherwise, when they get the bit between their teeth, they get going, the Germans. Yeah. So just don't give them any early chances. Be tight, get up in their faces and make a real game of it. It could be a really good game, or it could be the worst, which we don't want to mention, do we? The draw and what comes after that. But if it is, it is. We just got to be ready for it.
Yeah, right then. So the most important part of this then, Mike, straight over to your prediction. What are you going for?
I hate to say this, but I think it's going to be a draw. I hate to say it, and I'm dreading what comes after that. And I don't know if I'll be able to watch it, but I really do. I think it's going to be a draw.
Well then, so a draw. You're going through extra time. Do you think there'll be a winner in extra time?
I hope so. I hope we win it 2-1 in extra time.
Yeah, 2-1 after extra time. I like it. I think I've gone for a scrappy, not very nice, another 1-0 England win. I think I could see that. I think we will have enough to contain them, and then I think our attacking quality could just better theirs. But we'll just have to wait and see. I think looking at that, I think it's getting me a little bit more nervous, seeing those players that they've got. But if Southgate doesn't chicken out, we've got the players, and there's no excuse. We've got the players, we've got the side to match theirs, and it's just who turns up on the day, Mike.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And although I left Saka out of my team, I think he's sort of boy you can bring on because he's just got no fear. It just goes out there and runs at them, and maybe that's something we can keep up our sleeve. You know what I mean? And bring on a guy like that.
Yeah.
I still don't think it'd be tight. I'm just hoping that we win 2-1 in extra time, because I'm hoping that someone like him could come on the park and make the difference.
Yeah.
This would be when we need a squad, not just a team. This game would be
completely agree.
where the squad, really comes,
and it comes down
thing,
Yeah, and it comes down to whether Gareth Southgate can act quick enough. If we go 1-0 down on a 60th minute, quickly get players on the pitch, take off a defensive player, bring on an attacking player, bring on Sancho, just chuck them on the pitch. Have no fear. That's what's got to happen if we go 1-0 down, or if we're conceding, with 45 minutes, 40, 30 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Have no fear. Just chuck them on there, because we've got nothing to lose, because we're currently losing. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm a little bit nervous, I can't lie, but hopefully England will come through. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you very much, Mike, for coming on.
Cheers, Jake. No problem, mate. Enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Come on, England. Let's hope we can get past these Germans, and we'll see you very, very soon. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.